You don't need to go further than your local news report to see how climate change is affecting communities around the world, whether that be mudslides in Pakistan or wildfires in Hawaii or glaciers melting in the Himalaya. And climate change is going to affect all of us. It already is affecting many, many people around the world.
There are few places more susceptible to the risk of climate change than the Alps. Our lifeblood here in Morzine in France is snow, and the trend is clear. The snow coverage is reducing and it's going to continue to do so. We as tourism professionals need to adapt the type of holidays we offer. The Alps is an incredible playground and there are lots of different ways of enjoying it. We've seen a huge rise in summer tourism with different activities in the last few years.
Perhaps the biggest contributor tends to be transportation, for example in the way of air travel. For a long time it was kind of the elephant in the room that nobody would talk about, but fortunately at least the conversation has started happening. The travel industry and the tourism industry are looking at solutions in terms of how to mitigate the effects of this.
Between 50 and 75% of carbon emissions associated with the average ski holiday are as a result of the transport to and from the ski resort. That dwarfs all the other carbon emissions associated with the ski holiday. And we can do something about that. We can get people onto trains, and that is where we need to spend our time, energy and money changing behaviours.
Countries like, for example, Uzbekistan are fantastic examples where one doesn't have to catch a domestic flight to see many of the Silk Road sites. You know, this has a very good and efficient and affordable high-speed rail network which connects the main cities. So people should potentially look at these options, and again, travel organisers, tour operators should be trying to incorporate as many of these as possible within itineraries, and also explain to clients why we have chosen those options.
When we talk about climate change affecting tourism, I want to look at it in a slightly different way and saying protecting intact nature is the most effective way to reduce the impact of climate change. Sustainable tourism is vitally important to contribute to protected area management, which ultimately is our best means of mitigating the impacts of climate change. So rather than looking at how it's affecting tourism, how can we use tourism to better manage that impact?
So in many countries, whether it be Bali, Thailand or other parts of the world, vast areas have been deforested to make way for hotels. A way of mitigating against this going forward is for local governments, local authorities to enforce stricter building regulations and sustainable building codes, encourage more sustainable and eco-friendly architecture, and ultimately prioritize natural habitats and spaces so that they do not get exploited for such purposes.
Tourism potentially has a really important role in mitigating climate change, and particularly ecotourism, where we're focusing on promoting tourism that places a value on natural assets, natural landscapes like natural ecosystems, and potentially not only the preservation but also the restoration of those ecosystems. So that can be encouraged through tourism. This is one of our main tools that we have available to us to prevent and reduce climate change, is to restore natural ecosystems.